Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are back this week with a special Tuesday edition of the Piledriver. I am your boy, the best in the world. Next to me is the big dog. Down below, we have the return of the hammer and kitty corner. Uncle Wilbur is in the house with us tonight.
Love it.
What's going on, fellas?
I feel like we need Alice the maid right in the middle of us. That's a
little Brady Bunch action. I'm about it.
Yeah. Fun fact for the Set the Standard logo, because we had 8 of us, and I was like, I told Jason, I was like, we need a Brady Bunch logo with all 8 of us, Set the Standard in the middle, and he had that done in like 10 minutes. It was amazing.
That's the first thing I thought of when I seen that too. I loved it.
That was exactly what it was for.
Oh yeah, that makes it even better.
Hell yeah.
How you doing?
Big show tonight. We got NeoPro. Uncle Wilbur's in the house. We're going to talk about NeoPro Equiox this past weekend out in Salem, Ohio, where we were able to crown the first ever NeoPro Women's Champion.
And I'm excited to talk about it, boys. And as always, thank you guys for coming out, showing out, pictures, videos, and all the support and love. And if everybody's okay, if I just want to take 1 to 2 minutes, and that was Equinox was officially the last show of our first calendar year for NeoPro Wrestling, because the next show is NeoPro 2, which I know we'll be talking about. And as you know too, we'll talk about as well, I didn't have a match on the show, and that was fine. I was more than happy to sit back, enjoy a couple cold beverages, hang out with my friends, and take in the show in its entirety and really see it, get a vibe for the entire show, for the crowd and everything too. And, as you guys know, Jason and Danny, they like to be kind of faceless and voiceless as the owners of Neo, but they deserve their flowers. And I kind of want to just take that minute to say, like, we started off last year, Canton, Ohio. We're all from there. Me and Danny and Jason, we're all from there. It's my hometown forever. We have equity there. We felt really strongly that we could put together a good product and something solid and a solid foundation in Canton. Salem, we got no beef in Salem. We got no cards in the pot in Salem, man. And so we kind of took a risk, with help from TA being local, of course, but we kind of took a risk, to establish some good wrestling out there. And this being only the second show in Salem, as we'll talk about, standing room only. And it's just super impressive, and it's I'm damn proud to be a part of this thing. Damn proud of Jason and Danny, and all of the entire roster and all the fans that have been loyal and keep coming out and showing out. It's been a great opportunity for young guys, veterans, television stars to come in and be a part of something great. That's really, it's growing by the month. And so for you guys, the Piledriver boys, thank you so much for being a part of this since day one. And thank you to everybody else who supported us. We're just damn proud of what we've done so far in 1 year, and looking forward to making more memories in 2024 and all the years going forward.
It's been, I can speak. I'm not trying to speak for the other boys, but I'm sure they agree. It's been an honor to be a part of this since day one, just to be able to come and watch this product grow and be what it has been over the past year. It's been phenomenal to watch from the outside. And yeah, like I said, we're proud to be part of it. Proud to cover it when it's available. Love every bit of it.
All right. First off, can you guys hear me? Because it told me that my mic was jacked up.
I hear you just fine.
Okay, cool. Paulie,
you're live, pal.
I was going to say, well, it told me my mic was jacked up on the screen, so I didn't know if it was working or not. But Paulie was at the very first NeoPro show with us. It was me, him, Dean, and Zoe Monroe. And Paulie, I mean, ever since then, I've tell this to everybody that I've ever said anything about NeoPro. Y'all invited us to that show, told us that if we didn't like it, we didn't have to come back, and we haven't missed one since. The Piledriver podcast is always at NeoPro in some capacity, whether it be me and Vince, whether it be me and Dean, whether it be all three of us. We're all, somebody from the Piledriver is there representing to show NeoPro out, because you guys definitely deserve it.
Absolutely.
You bring in talent, like you said, from all over Northeast Ohio. Speaking of, and we'll talk about this more, you said you got to sit in the back and enjoy some cold beverages. You did at one point make your presence known. Let's not forget about that. We'll get more into that in a little bit.
Business needed to be taken care of at one point, but yes.
But yeah, so it's been great. The ride with NeoPro has been phenomenal. Just every match you guys put on, every show you guys put on. I've seen it grow from, the first show at Stark was packed. It was packed.
Yeah.
But now you guys are like trying to find extra chairs and shit. And there's people standing and like you got, so it's definitely grown more and more and more.
And the nice part about it,
where your mouth is.
Majority of the crowd is all familiar faces. You get the new people coming in, but you got a continuous amount of people coming that come back and back. And it's great to see.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I'll even shout him out because I know that he loves it when we shout him out. My boy Kyle. My boy Kyle shows up to every NeoPro show. Kyle Sage, he's right up front, dog. And he's kicking it. And he's, probably Angel Metro's hugest fan. In the chat real quick, we got Nick in the chat, head security at NeoPro. He always gets his flowers from us, but he, one
of the hardest.
I was giving him shit. Outside in the line. And yeah, he kind of, he's talking smack. But yeah, I was giving him shit. We love Nick.
One of the hardest working men in the biz. And before we go, in talking about the show again, we're NeoPro, and you guys are the Piledriver Pod, and you support everything Northeast Ohio. So when you talk about the Brandon Xaviers and the Dr. Freeney's, Glenn up at OCW, and just there's been support from day one. And just to be honest, before you guys got into podcasting and before a lot of the guys that got into wrestling, it wasn't always like that. It was cutthroat and it could be nasty. But these days, I think we all see it. We see a positive product. We see, that, Neo wasn't about to half-ass anything. And hey, we within ourselves support that. Let's get good wrestling in multiple towns, get these guys this great talent, more bookings, more opportunities to perform and get better. And man, it's just a great thing. The synchrony that we have right now with the top independent promotions. And that goes outside of Northeast Ohio. I mean, some of the talent that we had on the show coming from Pittsburgh, with Jessica Habit coming out of Dayton, and the Wrestling Revolver crew. It's like there's a lot of support that are I don't know if we'd be nearly as successful as we are without these guys being supportive and helpful along the way.
No, I feel you 110%. People have actually have said that to us before, like. We appreciate not a lot of guys are talking about independent wrestling. You check out a lot of podcasts, and most of them are about WWE, and sure, we're going to talk about WWE later, but that's because it's WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was Hell in a Cell, we probably wouldn't be talking about it.
And we wouldn't, in independent wrestling, it's all cyclical. And with how great the WWE product is right now, that's more interest than for the kids or the adults that kind of see those local independent shows and want to go check them out. So it's beneficial for everybody.
No, agreed 110%. There's kids. There was a couple kids. I know, obviously, you're good. Uncle Wilbur's going to take a second. He's being dad. That's fine. But there was kids at the guardrail. And obviously, like I said, Angel Metro, huge over at NeoPro. Big following. The kids love her. She's, got fans that are there to support her at every show. And just to see all the kids at each show from NeoPro, each one has been fucking cool as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Remember that Absolutely. One little kid, Dean, we were chopping it up with at the last show? Like, that shit was funny. He was good.
Yeah, it was awesome. Joey Schneider saying Paulie's the GOAT.
It's good to see Joey. Joey on X, watching on X. We appreciate everybody watching on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all the things.
On the interwebs.
Now, let's jump into this while we got Uncle Wilbur handy. Tim Cross, yo, what up, Big Tim from RSW.
Hey, Bobby.
But let's talk about it. Our NeoPro started off hot. We had the first match of the night was Women's Championship Eliminator Series Match 1. Now, for those who don't know, the premise of this match, NeoPro had set up 2 fatal 4-way matches between the women, the winners going on to the main event of the evening to be the winner to be declared the first ever champion. in the first match, and like, if I have a complaint about NeoPro, and I hope Jason's listening, it's this. It's not. It was this match. It was too much star power in the one match and not enough in the other one. In my opinion, you should have split them up. Maybe had Havoc and Angel in the other match, and had Blue and the Haley Fairfax, the Viking. That was the Viking girl, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And there were great matches. I'm not discounting them at all. Great matches, but I feel like the star power overloaded the people because I've never seen 3 out of the 4 in the last match. The other 4 in the first match, I'm familiar with all 4.
And Kylie was the one that I was not familiar with, and she, turned your eyes immediately. Immediately. She was like, "Oh,
I've seen her a couple times on NWA."
Yeah, she is a star. I'm not sure. I'm not there behind the scenes if it was a random draw or what could have been done to shake it up a little bit. I'm honestly not sure. I do know that Jessica's wanted to rip Angel Metro in half since day one.
Yes.
I've come up with Jessica. We've been friends for over 20 years. I have no idea why she wants to kill Metro that bad, but she is as Angel says.
Angel?
Yeah, I don't know. She did say, and then she was obviously upset. The other 2 in the match, Angel Metro, Jessica Havoc, Kylie Ray, and then Megan Myers. Afterwards, Jessica tried to basically kill everybody in this match.
That's what she does.
She's a beast. She's a beast, like phenomenal. And again, she did try to kill everybody. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to secure a victory and move on. That title went to Megan Myers.
Yeah, and Megan was crafty in that match too. Everybody was high impact move after move after move, but Megan kind of picked her spots to get that pin after Jess did the damage, which is smart. And I think that's something Megan, as you guys know, trained down at the Nightmare Factory with Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall and Billy Gunn. That's great training. You learn every trick in the book. And match like this in a fatal 4-way, you got to be able to seize the opportunity. And to Megan's credit, she absolutely did that and got the win. What I thought was a really, really good opener.
110%.
I loved all of us looking at her.
It got the crowd hype, and yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna say I was surprised by Megan winning because we all know Megan's a machine. With the addition, obviously that Jessica Havoc being thrown in there at the last second, that spot was supposed to go to Ziggy, but Ziggy taking some time for her mental, stepping away from wrestling for the time being, and that's perfect. We love that.
All the best. Got nothing.
All the best.
Absolutely.
But Jessica Havoc, when being announced, I immediately thought that Jessica Havoc was the clear front runner to advance to this title match.
I think we all did, and that was probably did as well. And that's probably why the frustrations boiled over after the match. And she, took it. Hey, it is what it is. She took a cheap shot at Megan. Megan wasn't looking, took a cheap shot and dropped her. And you don't mess with Jessica. I've known her for forever. The sad thing is, I think she's actually calmed down a little bit as she's gotten a little older. She has a hot temper and a loose cannon, and she is dangerous. So I doubt that's the last we hear about that story going forward.
For sure. One of the Neo Monster in the chat. Caitlin, what's going on?
My boy James in the chat says yes, the first women's 4-way was better than the second one. No offense to anyone, and I'm not, we're not taking any offense. It's not. And I think, again, me and James talked about this after the show. It was more so Alexis Littlefoot, Lexington, Kentucky, I believe she's from.
Yeah.
Heather Blue, Detroit. Yes. I'm not sure where Haley Fairfax is from, but not here.
No, wherever she's from, it's terrified.
Yeah, so it's not Cleveland, Ohio. So these 3 women not being familiar to us, it was still a great match. I just don't think they got the pop they deserve because they aren't as well known around here.
Right. Well, since we're already talking about, I know it was a couple segments ahead, but do we want to finish talking about that match and just?
Oh yeah, we can bust. Yeah.
You're right. Heather Blue and Alexis Littlefoot. Hey, to Jason's and Danny's credit, they wanted to find talent from all around. They wanted to get what they felt was the best of the best, and for this match. And then, of course, Zoe Sky. We talk about the not being local. Zoe Sky is actually local. Trained up in Cleveland, wrestled a lot in Youngstown, which is nearby, and you could tell crowd was behind her the entire time.
Oh yeah.
And she showed out, had a hell of a performance. I thought Harley Fairfax was very, very impressive.
She was really cool. If we're being 100% out of the four that's in the second match, I mean, obviously I'm familiar with Zoe, but if I had to pick one of them three, like to be my representative for a women's match, I'm picking fucking Haley Fairfax. She was dope.
And she was scary. Not to pull back the curtain a little bit, but she was, hoping to find another opportunity in NeoPro, and whatever I can do, as long as she doesn't hurt me, I'll be glad to help her get another appearance. Pro.
Yeah, no, she was pretty cool. James said in the second four-way he was surprised Zoe or Harley didn't win. Heather did impress me though. I liked Alexis's swagger. She had swag.
I'll give her that.
The blue fuzzy coat. She came out with a blue fur coat, trench coat on, kind of deal that matched her braids. She looked cool. She had swagger. She just I knew it was. She pulled it out, man.
The girl had confidence in herself, and as being one of the least experienced, if not the least experienced female, I think not maybe match, but maybe the entire tournament. You'd think, hey, she should be, kind of considered the underdog. But the girl had confidence in herself, went out there and again, kind of picked the opportunity. If I watched the end of that match, I seen they were wise to take out Fairfax, and then was able to get a hold of Heather Blue and put her down for the finish and got the victory in a tough match. So
she did have that sweet ass axe kick though.
It was long legs down with
it was very Booker T-esque. Nick Dean's getting some love in the chat from First Cool NeoPro hoodie.
He's looking good.
Thanks.
So Alexis able to get the win. It sets up our main event, which we will talk about later. Alexis looking for going one-on-one with Megan Myers for the NeoPro first ever Women's World Championship. But let's jump back to let's jump back.
Beautiful title.
Let's talk about this tag team match. Okay. So we had
a pro for me with that I got to see something like this.
And then I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to bring it up because as you know, we all talk about, we talk about all Northeast Ohio wrestling. So we didn't sleep on the fact that a couple weeks ago, the winners have broken up. Jimmy Shane turned on Robbie Starr after they won the match. So going into this match, I was already concerned for my friend, the Thunderbird.
I didn't see Kaylin. Sorry, Nick. Kaylin, thank you. Sorry. They're fighting in the chat.
Dean's getting yelled at in the chat.
Well, I seen Jimmy, he shot a video after his loss to Ashton Day at White Noise where he seemed like, he even recognized that he was kind of out of body, that he wasn't feeling himself. And the Love and Thunder tag team was all about having a good time. He kind of thought maybe that has something to do with getting rid of Robbie. Maybe he wanted to just channel things into the Love and Thunder tag team, maybe I was being optimistic. Because it wasn't that at all. And I've known Jimmy for a long time, but I don't know this Jimmy right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure where this Jimmy has come from.
Officially done tag teaming.
Obviously he should be, because at this point, who's going to tag team with him?
Paulie would.
It's like,
no, hell, not in this condition.
I was going to say, I don't think so. Paulie would.
No.
Paulie's been watching too. Paulie's been paying attention.
It was devastating to watch that fall apart because Jimmy is one of the best tag team wrestlers that we've had in recent memory. Like, he's really taken to it like fish to water. He really dove headfirst into that, and he really made that his identity for the last couple of years. And to see him go from teaming with his best friend to just saying, I'm done teaming entirely is just disappointing, I think is the best way to put it.
I think he's gaslighting. He's gaslighting.
Yeah, going to the match, it was a good match. They wrestled Cash Inc. We didn't really mention the match itself. Had a good match with absolutely one of the top tag teams in the entire region. It was a good competitive match.
Right.
Jake got a little overzealous, got in there, and he had a big move, and that was it. Nothing to be ashamed of. It was a good competitive match. But obviously it wasn't acceptable for Jimmy.
I mean, and it's crazy too, because I'll touch some on what you said. You missed a little bit, Jason. They were tag teaming, like there was tag team maneuvers. They were working together real smooth. I mean, Cash Inc. I didn't see ultimately anything that Jake did wrong. Like Cash Inc. did a great job of tag team wrestling. They cut the ring in half. They worked on Jake's leg half the match. They did tag team wrestling.
Somebody's got to lose. It happens, you know. You don't.
Sally called him a loser in the chat.
They, Cash Inc. picking up the dub. I think further cementing their legacy as one of the top tag teams in Northeast Ohio as they just keep doing their thing, man. They come into different promotions. I've seen them win at, Mega Championship Wrestling. Obviously, they are the current Mega Tag Team champs. I've seen them come into EFW.
Crazy fatal 4-way match that we're going to see at NeoPro too.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. But we got, like I said, I've seen them win at EFW. I've seen them win all over the place. I've seen them win NeoPro. They're dominant. And it was a great tag team match. They did what they were supposed to do, and they picked up the dub. But, like Wilbur said, the story here is Jimmy Shane turning on Jake Ely.
Yeah. I don't know. This Jimmy Shane that we're dealing with right now is dangerous, though. And, I haven't heard what he might or might not be doing at NeoPro 2, but it's going to be something to watch because, again, it's just a different Jimmy Shane that I'm familiar with. As a fan, I mean, I'm interested to kind of see where he goes next, but
I am too.
Kind of worried. Seems to be a bit unhinged at the moment.
Yes, Nick, we're talking about Love and Thunder right now. We're talking about Jimmy Shane. I mean, still great match, but then Jimmy Shane comes in after the turn. They, kick him out. I believe it was referees Josh and Mike kick him out of the ring, get him out. Finally, he's back towards the entranceway. He stops, turns around, and hits Jake with another spear just to, cherry on top it, so to speak.
Yeah, there was a viciousness behind it. There really was.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm curious what the motives are behind this.
I don't know what Jimmy Shane's plan is, but obviously he has one, and we're going to all have to stick around and see, what he decides to go with it.
I'll say this, guys. It's very rare in the wrestling business that you go scorched earth on everybody in the business and you come out on top. You need people to work with. You need friends that have your back. And turning on everybody and anybody, that's usually a recipe for disaster.
Nick is on. I was gonna say Nick is on some Star Wars shit tonight. Second Star Wars reference in like 10 minutes.
Just Jimmy Shane is misunderstood like Darth Vader. All right.
Yeah, he called him Anakin earlier.
Wow, that's what that was.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how this works for Jimmy Shane.
I've never seen a Star Wars movie in its entirety.
I hate you.
Me neither, pal.
Let's go.
I watched one of them.
Uncle
Will, you guys
Wilbur
are missing out. Jimmy did piss Granny off. Yeah, that makes sense. But no, let's move on. I will see what happens with Jimmy Shane going forward. Our next match was one, I think I have my order correct. I'm not 100% sure.
I'll give you that now.
Was an opportunity that was earned at the last Salem show.
Right.
Colton Quinn defeated Jake Ely in a pre-show match, all wrapped up, to earn an opportunity at the NeoPro Championship, and he cashed it in at Equinox. This match was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I'll give you that too, because as we all know, that suplex, whatever you want to call it, hangman suplex out, right there in front of us.
That was right.
The video, Wilbur, I can hear it. It sounds horrible.
I was right behind you guys. Man, we could feel it. We could feel the whole building shake as he caught him on that suicide dive in the ropes and the suplex.
Oh my God.
And I mean, that was at the beginning of the match, and it felt like there was no way Colton was going to come back. We all watched it. It was a beatdown from basically 80% of the match was Hayes just beating the ever-living snot out of poor Colton Quinn. To Colton's credit, though, and as you go in, it turned out to be just a hell of a fight back and forth at the end.
That was a damn good fight.
I don't know if you can see this comment on the screen right now. It says, during intermission, I heard a fan complaining outside about the senior referee, Mike Contos. He seems to think that he's on the take or in cahoots with Patrick Hayes. Has there been any Neo investigation into main event Mike Contos?
I mean, Jason's in here.
There's no
whoa
to get to James's comment. You know, I didn't want to skip ahead. We watched this match. He body slammed him on the floor again. He threw him into the pole.
I mean, not only did he didn't body slam him too. He went to pile drive him on the opposite side of the ring at one point, which
finally
I was gonna say Colton was able to reverse it and back body drop Patrick Hayes, give him a little taste of his own medicine.
Colton hit him with everything he had. We had multiple near falls that were just 2 and 7 8. And what James was mentioning is that we did see that finish where Colton got caught. Hayes hit him with not just the tombstone, but the old That's Incredible spinning tombstone.
The spinner, I got it. It was a beautiful pile driver.
If Colton didn't kick out before the 3, it was 2 and 99 100ths, or it was 3 and 1 100ths. It was so close. He did get the shoulder up, but Contos counted the 3.
Yeah. I didn't see anything wrong with the count. I agreed. He did kick out, but it was a late kick out. It was this close after the hand had hit the mat, dude. And the referee's decision is final. It's not like Contos got down and was like, you know what I'm saying?
It was a fair 3 count. And again, I mean, if he missed it by just the slightest hair, maybe. I don't think anybody's reviewed the tape or anything yet. But I don't think there was any foul play involved. I think.
No, I agree. I think main event Mike Contos and Jason giving us shit. Jason he's calling him main event Mike has corrupted him. Not necessarily true. I think he's no John Donahue or whatever that referee's name who was on the take playing basketball.
Kayla said, balls. Energy drink.
But yeah, it was a great match. Wilbur, what do you think about Patrick Hayes? Obviously, I mean, he had some less than tasteful actions after this match.
He's less than tasteful all the time. He's less than tasteful every second of the day. It's not to be surprised. It's no surprise at all. One thing you can't ever take away from the guy, he believes in himself, maybe more than anybody's ever believed in themselves. He absolutely believes in himself. He's the heavyweight champion. Can't take that away from him. Quinn, man, we'll talk about it. Colton Quinn came out there and gave him everything he had, and Colton Quinn impressed me. And you hate, I think moral victories, but I don't think a lot of people gave Colton Quinn a chance. And there was a couple of times where he was about as close as you can get. So,
yeah, that was. I don't know what he calls that little roll through face buster he's got, but he hit Patrick Hayes with it twice, and the second time. He almost got, the same kind of count that he got in his, not in his favor at the end of the match. It was close as hell on that. And he almost walked out of there with the title.
So Hayes gets to walk out with the title for the night. He earned it. But I don't think it's the last we've seen of Colton Quinn in big time matches in NeoPro or anywhere else for that matter.
Wilbur getting some love in the chat. Caitlin and Lexi May are saying, hey, Wilbur in the chat.
Hello. I'm not reading the chat as we go. I'm focused on the conversation at hand, but
you're fine. We'll pop it up here. We'll pop it up every once in a while. It's this new little fangled thing we're doing.
Just letting you're getting some love. You're getting some Hayes in there, man.
Then I believe the next match was our number 1 contenders match.
Well, I think we're a little out of order, but did anybody get some food from the Rendezvous Hall over there? The Rendezvous
from the little window?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
That's so good.
I got to mingle with some of the fans. We are slightly out of order, Mike, because I know because I had to get back because the next match was one I had vested interest in. And that was our friend of the show, Dontavio.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually forgot a little spot, too, as I'm going through my stuff here. After the Jimmy Shane match, this was a big deal, and this set up something giant for NeoPro 2. The vibe. The vibe comes out and shows up. He has something to say, and he wants to call out a man he's had some issues with. Izzy Lambert and Cherry. We've seen this has been going on for almost a year. Ever since NeoPro 1, Izzy and Bray have been, at odds.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of got into a little, this is my favorite new word. They kind of got into a little kerfluffle.
Yes.
And Bray was able to get out and kind of reverse this fisherman buster that, Izzy was going for. Bray grabbed Cherry, went for the swing.
Close.
It's close.
Close.
And then, he has challenged him.
That respect. I believe he's going to have some respect for Bray McKenzie if Bray has to beat it into him. And that might happen. As we know, it has been officially announced for NeoPro 2.
Let's go.
It has been announced. It was. I did say kerfluffle. It was announced Bray Wyatt challenged at Equinox. He challenged Izzy Lambert, and Izzy Lambert has accepted it. It has been made official by NeoPro management. Bray McKenzie and Izzy Lambert one-on-one. So that I don't know how I feel about that. I love both of these guys. I mean, Izzy,
long time coming. I think it's time this finally comes to a head, and the big anniversary show is the perfect place to do it.
I agree. And then the next match after that was the second women's match, which we already talked about. It was won by Alexis Littlefoot, going on to the main event.
Are we out of order? Or are we doing it right?
I was way out of order.
First.
I was way out of order.
Okay.
But after the women's match, it was Colton Quinn and Patrick Hayes, and then it was Don Tavio versus the Bone Collector.
I hope Don Tavio's chest is all right today.
I spoke to Don Tavio a couple days before this match, and he said it's going to take everything I have to go against Dominic Garrini.
He wasn't wrong.
Boy,
what a match!
This match. I mean, it's up there for match of the night, and we'll talk about Jason's comment right here. Look, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen. We'll talk about that comment here in a second.
Hamburger meat.
This match started off fast and furious. If you're not familiar with Dominic Garrini, you definitely should be. But he is one half of your GCW tag team champions in Violence is Forever. Dominic Garrini is no stranger to pain. I don't know. I can't even, I don't even know how to begin. I was worried. I was worried for my boy here because I've seen Dominic Garrini do some crazy things. Just a couple weeks ago, I seen him pile drive Shawn Mason on the apron. So,
as you know, I've been in there with Dom plenty of times. It's a long night. It's a long night at the office. And for Don Tavio, he knew going in. He said he was going to take everything they had to even have a chance. And he delivered. He brought it. He brought everything he had to the table. He brought the fight right back to Dom. And this is with his chest literally welding up before your very eyes.
I got pictures. These chops that were exchanged between these two men. All right. Left Don Tavio's chest just blew. It was blue, and the match was still going on.
There was, but Don Tavio kept fighting with everything he had. He met the one spot where Don Tavio might have had the advantage, and he knew it was in the speed advantage. So he started eventually sticking and moving, landed a couple of kicks, and then he landed a beautiful German suplex, only for Dom Garrini and that hard Italian head of his to bounce right back up and suplex Don Tavio.
Yep.
And
I mean, like you said, he gave it everything. Absolutely everything. Took the fight to Dom. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to come up with a victory. Dom was able to get the 3 count with our second pile driver of the night. I'm not mad. Yeah, I'm not mad. I got a tombstone and a pile driver from Dominic Garrini. I'm sad that it had to happen to Don Tavio, but that's the way
Jason thinks Don Tavio lost a nipple as well through this fight. So
yeah,
he might need an artificial.
It might be gone.
No, an artificial nip. That's interesting.
And now, as good as this match was, this is another scenario where, in my opinion, the story happened after the match. Dominic Garrini, being the professional that he is, extended the hand. to give flowers to the young Dontavio. Good job, kid. You know, I'm proud of you type shit. And Dontavio snubbed him.
Yeah.
And as Dontavio comes back, and like I said, we're sitting right here. We are entranceway. Here's your boys right here to the left of the entranceway. He's standing right there. You come bumming out of the back. Bam! Hit him with a big shoulder. Tell you Pedro, give you the mic. And you just get in the ring and just fucking lay into this kid. And everything you said was spot on, 110%. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Matt Taylor.
Oh, and I didn't want to have to do it. I didn't want to have to do that. I didn't want to really be in the ring at all, this night. But of course, I was watching the match in the back. I had a vested interest in it. Dom being somebody that I've known for a very long time, and Dontavio obviously taken him under my wing and trying to mentor him in the right direction. And as I mentioned, look, I'm getting older, and I'm becoming much more patient in my older age, where I get it. I see it. You can be easily influenced when you're younger. You're wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, and this world of pro wrestling is full of sharks, man. And so he's been influenced by Matt Taylor over the past, 6 months or so, where it feels like Matt's trying to bring him into his gospel, this bullshit.
The gospel of the light. You are correct. Which he has a pretty solid stable going right now. If we're gonna, I'm not gonna hate on it, but
at all.
If he can mobilize these troops, Uncle Wilbur, NeoPro Management's gonna have some hell on their hands.
There's gonna be trouble. Well, that said, I need to know who's going to be on my side. And Dontavio's been wishy-washy. And again, as I mentioned in that promo, I've cut him a lot of slack. I really have. Because, again, I understand being impressionable and being indecisive. I get it. But here's the thing. When you have a guy like Dom Guarini here in NeoPro, look, that's not your everyday match. That's not your everyday competitor. Dom Guarini isn't just, he's literally, legitimately world-traveled superstar. And he was here in Salem, Ohio, willing to give a kid like Dontavio an opportunity. And Dontavio, to his credit, went toe-to-toe with him. No, he didn't get the win, but he went toe-to-toe with him. And Dom Guarini doesn't have to shake his hand. Dom Guarini can come to the back, get change, collect his money, and go home to Canton and get a good night's sleep. He didn't have to do that. He was willing.
I'll say Nick likes my shirt.
And for Dontavio to snub him, that was kind of the last straw for me. It really was, because as I mentioned in the promo, I'm tired of it. You make your choice. You make your choice now. And I told him if he wanted to go side with Matt Taylor, then you do it. By all means, you go ahead and do it. But if you choose that route, you're choosing against my route. You're choosing against a guy like Dom's route, guys that pride ourselves on doing things the right way. And I think he made the right decision.
I think he did too.
I think he did.
Shout out to you, and the chat even thinks so as well. They want to thank you for making that happen, making that handshake happen. It was much needed.
No thanks necessary, man. I'm always going to try my best to do the right thing by wrestling, by the fans, by everybody. It doesn't always work, but I'm always going to try. And in this case, I think something finally got through to the kid. And we're going to be in for some wars. As you mentioned, Matt Taylor has I've been explained multiple times by Sam Holloway, by the Beast Man. It doesn't feel good. It's going to take a lot to get back up, but I think with the we're building, I think we got a good shot at it.
110%. And I mean, I'm going to use that, obviously to segue. Because speaking of one of Matt Taylor's drones, congregation, whatever you want to call them, that we do that, Bree. We can do that. We make them pop up there. See that? That's special Piledriver shit. But speaking of the Beast Man, our next match was a number one contenders match to face at now we knew it was Patrick Hayes after he had defeated Colton Quinn. Ashton versus Ashton Day, the Ultra Star, probably one of my favorites right now on the indie scene, going against a behemoth of a man in Beast Man, out of the mountains of West Virginia or wherever the hell that beast is coming from. Just, I was worried for Ashton in this, but I don't, Ashton has, again, like you said, been one of those people that's kind of found his niche and rode with it. And he's been traveling, doing his thing. Most recently, he had a, NWA heavyweight championship match against EC3. So, the kid's up there. He's well known, and I'll never count him out. But the Beast Man, that is kind of
it took Ashton everything.
scary.
He had to stick and move. He couldn't stop. If he stopped and got caught by the Beast Man, it was pain. Oh,
I'd be terrified.
Let's go ahead and put that.
You can hang with the Beast Man, Dean. You're a big guy.
I probably could.
I'm going to agree with everything Nick just said on the screen. But, you know, Ashton, James said it too up here. Dean put it up a little bit. I'll put it back up. Ashton was in charge of this match about 60% of the time, with, you know, like you said, Beastman outweighing him by at least 2 people. So it was very Ashton-esque to take control of the match. At one point, Beastman tried to use the bone, which, you know, is typical Beastman, but referee had to get involved.
Ashton being quick got out of the way. The bone worked against him, clobbered himself somehow with the bone, and then big move off the top rope. It was enough to keep the big guy down for 3 seconds. That's all it takes.
Hey, That's all it takes. And like they said in the chat, you know, we're talking, everybody has said in the chat, at NeoPro 2, it's already been announced. It is official. Ashton Day 1-on-1 with Patrick Hayes for the NeoPro Heavyweight Championship.
Woo, let's go.
People in the chat, Nick, Ellie, tired of Hayes. As much Nick said, as much as I like Hayes, I want to see Ashton win it at NeoPro 2. And if we're being 100% honest, coming out of Patrick Hayes' actions, I'd say he's a little scared.
Well, yeah, after the match, he was, I mean, immediately after the match, came out with a sneak attack, laid out Ashton with the title belt. Obviously, after that, Ashton wasn't going to get back up, and Hayes, of course, ran his mouth as only Hayes can do. But I am with you. I think that was a mistake because I think this is an incorrect assumption, by the way. I think this is incorrect. I think a lot of people see Ashton dead. They see that he's incredibly talented, great professional wrestler. But I think maybe there's a little bit of an indication that he's kind of soft, that he's not a fighter, that he's not, he can't fight from underneath. And so I think Hayes may have thought, hey, let's take the opportunity to get a cheap shot in, to leave him laying, which, of course, when a guy's not looking for it and you hits him with a title belt, you're out cold. I watched Ashton and Jimmy Shane in that street fight. Ashton ain't soft. Ashton can fight as well as he can wrestle, if not better. So, Hayes, it's going to be an absolute battle, an absolute back match.
Yeah, this is going to be a dogfight.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who to call it right now. I say you can't call it right now, but it's going to be a hell of a.
No, I agree with you. This one's going to be one for the history books. Obviously, at NeoPro 2, making history. Full calendar year. It's time for that show, but it's. I don't know. I can't root for them all, and I mean you can't root for them both. And obviously, Hayes has had an amazing run. I'm not taking anything from it, but I'd love to see Ashton take it from him.
I do too.
Our next match after that, what did we have? Oh, this next match. Okay. This next match had gotten heat all over Facebook, all over social media worlds. It had touched home for Mr. 5-star Thomas Adams with Christian Napier poking shots at his family.
That's what Christian Napier does. That's what Christian Napier does. As soon as you buy into it, as soon as you sell it, got you where he wants you. He's a young trendsetter. He's incredibly talented, but he wants to get you off of your game mentally before you even step into the ring with him. And that's what happened. And you guys give your opinion. I got to watch this match in its entirety. I thought TA was incredibly impressive. He's since day one in NeoPro for him, he wants to prove that he belongs. He recognizes it. He sees the incredible talent in the locker room, including Christian Napier. He won't deny that. Napier is one of the absolute top talents anywhere today. He sees it. He wants to prove he belongs. And it was a great match. It was a great competitive match. TA really showed out, looked great until he got caught with the DDT, and for the second time in a row, TA came out on the losing end in his hometown.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't pretty. It was a solid match. It was a really good match, and I had told TA when he comes walking out, because he came over and gave us some love, and I told him, I said, "Hey, be careful." He said he's gonna kill you. Like Christian was coming in.
You never really know what can happen
yeah.
with Napier. He's a member of the 440 as well, which makes him extra more dangerous. Those guys show up any place, anytime, anywhere. They don't care.
He's a dangerous dude, and that led to, even after the match, Napier wanted to hurt him. Napier wanted to hurt TA in his hometown in front of his friends and family. Hung him up in the tree of woe, stuck a steel chair in his face. It looked like the referees were able to stop him from swinging that chair, and they did. They stopped him from swinging that chair. The whole way across the ring, chucked the freaking steel chair.
Hey, I got a good video of that too.
TA's face, and again, I think TA was able to get home okay that night, but it was a little touch and go in the back for a while. He was definitely shaken up by that. Now, how do you blame him?
100%. Chair straight to the face. I mean, kind of Sabu-esque.
Yeah.
Christian just kind of threw it right at him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great it was a great match. Christian able to pick up the dub. We got to see where this leads for TA. I mean, like I said, we see him all over socials and stuff, and
he talks, man. He talks the talk. He's got a chance to back it up. And again, in 2 matches at NeoPro, he has been impressive. I'm not going to take that away from him.
Yeah,
but
no, I agree. He has been 5-star. At
the end of the day,
but he hasn't been able to pull out that victory.
Yeah, wins and losses count, man. Wins and losses count. So as it stands right now, he's 0-2 in NeoPro. Even though Neo is hot in his hometown, that doesn't guarantee anything.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true.
110%. And then last, go ahead. Sorry.
Y'all ready for the main event?
I was going to say, and last but most certainly not least, the main event of NeoPro Equinox sets Megan Myers against Alexis Littlefoot for the first ever NeoPro Women's Championship.
That's a beautiful
And this match was fire. First off, shout out to Rosie the ref. What a
great night she had. She was incredible all night.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Rosie killed it.
Fantastic.
But this match, man, and I go in and we talked about this a little bit earlier. I wasn't too familiar with Alexis, so going in, I clearly had somebody I was rooting for, and that's fine.
You weren't the only that whole crowd.
And I agree. The crowd was pretty unanimous. Alexis did impress me more in this match one-on-one with Megan than she did in the Fatal 4-Way match, but obviously that's because there's a lot more components in the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
I think Megan Myers, I don't think we can all agree, probably came out of the night as the top star, but my second vote for the top star of the night is that crowd in Salem. We've been sitting here talking for 15 minutes about this one. This crowd sat through so much really good rap. Really, really good rap. And they were still on fire for this main event. They were 100% behind Megan. They wanted to see, her come out as the first ever women's champion. And I think that attack from Jessica did a number on her because she was kind of slow coming out of the gate. It was mostly Alexis throughout that match. Seemed like it's tough for Megan to get anything going. But that girl fought her ass off, came through at the end, and made history, man.
Yeah,
you are correct. She did make history, becoming.
That's why she was.
I'll go ahead. Oh, so first off, I'll put this in here. Uncle Wilbur. Nick says, "Bro, Alexis was trash. Find me. You won't." And then I'll go ahead and put this up. $400 fine from Jason Maddox.
Breaking news.
Boom.
Don Tavio, my boy, in the chat says my chest is yellow and purple, but I'll wear that with pride.
How many nipples does he have?
He said
how many nipples you got? You still got nips? Okay, cool.
But yeah, this match was phenomenal. Megan Myers, like I said, making history. First ever NeoPro. I've seen it, Dean. First ever NeoPro women's champion. And not only that, I know this title that's coming next isn't as prestigious as the one she just won. But Megan Myers is your Piledriver podcast wrestler of the month. I double checked with everybody. She is our first female wrestler of the month.
As a fellow nominee, I'd just like to go on the record and say Megan had my vote.
And look, and this is another thing we were going to talk about, and I wanted to, because look, this month was hard. All right. I had Dio Salvador as one of my nominees because he killed it at Mega. He killed it at EFW and Erie All-Stars. All month he killed it. We had Derek Dillinger as a nominee this month. Uncle Wilbur was also a nominee this month because he was, winner of brand new. And let's not, down here, he's down here. Brand new Ohio Heritage Champion, Uncle Wilbur. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of nominations this month, and it was hard to pick one. But the Piledriver boys did come through with a unanimous, and it had to be Megan for making the history. So,
yes,
as always, next month, Uncle Wilbur.
And boy, well, again, if I had a vote, it would have gotten mine. And before we get to your reviews and your ratings, because I always look forward to seeing how many Piledrivers, this segue is important because I got the go ahead from the bosses to give a PDP.
Let's go.
We have another match to announce for NeoPro 2, and it involves the new, as Paulie would say, reigning and defending NeoPro Wrestling Women's Champion Megan Myers. We have our first contender. We have our first opponent, and it is none other than a fellow Pittsburgh resident, the queen of the silver screen, Katie Arquette, is making her NeoPro debut.
Let's go!
Oh, that is giant news
at NeoPro 2.
Wow! Let's go!
News. What a title defense, and her first title defense. Katie Arquette coming into NeoPro.
Production, Katie Arquette, nothing to mess with, man. I'm pulling for Megan. I'm a big fan, but it might be over as soon as it started for her.
Yeah, that's huge. What a drop.
Short title reign, and wow, what an exclusive dropped right here on the Piledriver. Another phenomenal match added to NeoPro 2.
Megan Myers versus Katie Arquette. Let's go. Neo 2 is going to be a movie.
So Neo 2 right now, I know off the top of my head, I don't have anything pulled up in front of me. All my phones are down and stuff. I know we have Ashton Day going one-on-one against Patrick Hayes for the world title. Yeah. We now have Megan Myers going one-on-one against Katie Arquette for the women's world title.
Right.
Yeah.
Announced just today was the final team in Four Corners Frenzy, in which we will have Cat Shink taking on DD Trash, taking on Members Only, taking on our boys Saturday Night Special.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that.
I can't either.
All four of them have been impressive everywhere they've gone, and they've been all well traveled, of course. Who knows how that was going to go? Chaos, man. Chaos is how.
Yeah, no, that one is going to be for sure chaos, especially if Ken Vasion is around the ringside. You always got to watch out for Ken. I don't even know. I'm not sure. Has anything else been announced? We have no other matches, right? Just believe those four.
Izzy Lambert and Bray McKenzie.
That's right. Yep. And Izzy and Bray. You are correct.
He also announced, we know that now he has a clean bill of health. So Alex Daniels will make his return. It's not just a one-on-one match, though. He's going to get a match again with Justin Maine. The always impressive Spazmanian Devil, Andrew Palace, and what should be just an action-packed.
Let's go.
Yes.
That's going to be a banger.
Already. And now, like I said, that's only about 5 matches. NeoPro will give us at least 8. I'm sure there's plenty more to come. We're still about a month away. Later on this month.
VIPs are being sold out.
VIPs are done. You can't get them, but there's plenty of GA remaining.
We're locked up. We're locked up.
Because the Sandman's going to be there. Sabu's going to be there. The guy who helped put NeoPro on the map with yours truly. The franchise will be back in the house.
It's going to be an ECW party, buddy.
Yeah.
I got to get my ECW flag signed.
Caitlin, we just said that VIP is sold out, but we are locked in. Your boys are locked in. We are there. with swimwear on.
Got him now, because I don't think anybody's giving up their seat for this one.
No, hell no.
5 matches. I can't spill any more tea tonight, but I kind of knows a guy, and there's some more huge.
Oh, he said it right here. So much more. So
much.
Jason will let us in, and as soon as we know, everybody else will know. We will make sure that we're blasting it, telling on the next week's episode.
And just so you guys know, you guys are waiting for our pictures and videos to drop from NeoPro Equiox. It will be dropping sometime tomorrow. So stay tuned for those.
I put a couple TikToks out today. Of the first couple matches, there was a couple on there. So yeah. Meet and greets on sale. Look, that's right. I'm gonna talk shit to Nick when he walks outside. It's all right, man. It's just because you have so many damn bracelets, bruh. You only needed 1 bracelet. But look, before we let Uncle Wilbur get out of here, let's give our ratings for NeoPro Equinox. I am by proxy Vince's grade right now. Vince has given NeoPro Equinox a 4.5.
Bad.
Wow.
Ain't bad.
I'm going 4.75.
Woo!
Ooh. I am also gonna side with my boy Vince and go 4.5. The show is phenomenal. It never hasn't let me down since. Like I said at the beginning, every time we come, it's a great time. It's a great atmosphere. That
was my first Salem experience. I didn't get to make it to the last Salem show. So that was my first time experience in Salem. The crowd was hot. I love the venue. Love having the bar there. It was cool.
As always, we appreciate you. But before I go, I got a question for Yo Paulie.
Oh, yes. What?
You gonna make it out to NeoPro too?
That is the game plan at the very least right now.
All right.
You read the first one, you got to be the second.
You live kind of local, and if we got to send Sandman and Sabu to your house to pick you up, it might be a ride.
We've been threatening to give Paulie a 3D for years. So if
you know, it's a doomsday device.
Don't make me get Sabu, dude.
I don't think I'd have to worry too much about Sabu. I'd be more concerned about Sandman. He does carry around a Singapore cane.
That's true.
Sabu just jumps off of the first thing that he can find.
That's fine too.
Would you rather take a shot?
Luckily, I don't have a whole lot to leap off of around my house. It's a very flat area, so I'm good there.
Jump off my car.
And what
like Nick said, here, look.
Shot from.
That's
what
great.
What was your question going to be? Who would you rather take a shot from?
Oh yeah, I was going to say me or Sandman with a cane.
Well, he's
is that directed at me or?
Yeah,
Paul, directed at you.
I don't want to take a shot with a cane.
Well, then you're coming to the show.
You're going to get it both if you come to the show, Paulie.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing for me. I know I'm not a wrestler, so I'm not going to be stupid and try to get a chop from a wrestler for content and clicks. That's not me.
Sometimes it just happens.
It doesn't just happen.
Hold up.
It does, actually. It does. Did you not watch the Mega Wheel of Death episode of Turmoil?
Shut your face for a second. Jason says, real quick, huge announcement coming tomorrow. So stay tuned to NeoPro. On all socials, look for that big, huge announcement. I'm excited now because every time they ask if we're ready for an announcement, it's always something huge. So get your noties on. Stay tuned for that.
110%. This is going to be a great announcement. I can't wait. Like Jason said, so much more. So I can only wait to see what's going to happen.
Let's go.
All right. Well, with that, boys, I'm going to bid adieu. Everybody have a fun and safe WrestleMania weekend. Great time to be a fan, as always. So much wrestling, so much content. Everybody go to Fight TV or your Triller, whatever you got, because there's great independent wrestling going on all weekend long. Get yourself something good to eat, good cold beverage, and sit down at home and watch some wrestling this weekend if you're not going to Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to get more of those goosies from Saturday. Those were going down nice.
There you go.
Big Phil in here.
Always good to see you, brother.
He's on another cast right now. I actually just saw something. I'm going to talk to the rest of the Piledriver guys when we get out of here about something Wrestling Revolver related. But Uncle Wilbur, thank you so much for joining us. As always, we love and appreciate you, and can't wait to see you at NeoPro 2. Congratulations again.
Love and the support. We will see you on the flip side.
All right, brother.
Cheers, boys.
The Ohio Heritage Champs in the building, baby. Love you, bro.
Cheers.
Out.
Cheers.
And that was Uncle Wilbur Whitlock with us on the Piledriver, hanging out, talking about
Thanks,
some
Nick.
NeoPro Equiox.
Now we're talking some WrestleMania.
But now let's get into WrestleMania a little bit. And obviously we're not going to crush it and talk about the whole damn show because it's a lot. It's 2 nights. It's a lot to cover. I do want to know. I will say that I agree with Uncle Wilbur what he said. I can't remember if he said it while we were talking pre-stage or if he said it on the show. Sami Zayn and Gunther might steal this show. This might be the match of the weekend.
I can see it, honestly.
Do you have Sami walking away with this title, Paulie?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so tough to determine this because in theory, you're telling the story of Sami Zayn rising to the challenge and defeating Gunther. But you're also telling the story of Chad Gable rising to the challenge and defeating Gunther. So it's kind of like a parallel booking type situation, and I don't think Sami Zayn should win. How about that?
Why? I feel like if Gunther's been on a historic run with this Intercontinental title, if they were going to change hands and keep the title looking good, no offense to Chad Gable, I think Sami Zayn is the best way to go.
Okay, but what does Sami Zayn gain by winning that match? All that does is end Gunther's historic reign. Sami's already massively over with the fans, so you're not really making a new star.
When was the last time Sami had a singles title?
A singles title? That would be title. Yeah, and it was back during the pandemic. He won a ladder match at one point. There was the match with Daniel Bryan, the Intercontinental match.
I forgot about that.
Honest to God, I really think they misplaced this match. I think it should have been Chad Gable. But if Sami Zayn wins, good for him. We saw him win in the main event last year for the Tag Team Championship. So maybe that's the story we're telling. I don't know. It just seems weird that you start this story with Chad Gable and then all of a sudden Sami Zayn appears.
Yeah, I agree. And that was kind of my big thing about it. But I think as much as I don't want Gunther to lose it, I think they put it on Sami.
I think if Gunther loses the title, then we might be about to finish the story because Cody's going to need somebody to fight for the title right away, and that could be the man.
My match tonight is going to be the Omos the eating contest with Otis.
God. They were doing that. They were doing that today on what was it? I think it was X. Their WWE was live, and they were like having an eating contest or something. They were like preparing.
I've never been in an eating contest, and I don't think I'll ever start.
No.
Do it.
Now, obviously, the big match of the weekend is the first match on Saturday. Is this tag team match? How do you think this goes, Paulie? What are your thoughts?
So a lot of people have talked about the booking for this entire weekend and talking about John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin and all of these individuals from the past running in to help Cody Rhodes win the title. And here's my problem with that scenario. It devalues his win. His win needs to be a one-on-one.
I haven't heard that.
I've heard it from a number of people where they'll say,
I'm talking about Saturday night, the tag team.
I know, but that's where I'm getting to. Is like, the stipulations for Saturday affect Sunday too much. So are you going to have bloodline rules? Are you going to have no bloodline, which is kind of ideal for what we're trying to go with here? My thinking is Saturday is going to be when all hell breaks loose. That's when you're going to get Steve Austin and John Cena and The Undertaker and whomever else is going to come out. The 59th Airborne is going to fly in from the top of the building and just dive bomb in. I don't know what the hell. But I think we're heading towards a point, and this is what needs to happen. Seth Rollins needs to get the pin on the Rock. Because we have no reason for Dwayne being here except to put somebody over, and it needs to be Seth. Cody is already massively over. So who else are you going to put over? You're going to put over Seth Rollins.
All right, you want to hear my thoughts the way I think Saturday's going to go?
Go for it.
Roman goes for the tag. The Rock jumps down off the apron. The Rock says, "You're the tribal chief. You can do this." Cody Rhodes wins the match. Seth Rollins wins the match, whatever. Roman gets pinned in a tag team match, which leads to, no bloodline, right? So then Roman goes into Sunday. What the fuck am I going to do? I'm by myself. I got no help. Yada, yada, yada. Cody wins the story. Or The Rock and Roman Reigns absolutely fucking destroy Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Drew McIntyre shows up and fucks up Seth Rollins the night before, because he has to fight him Sunday night. Shows up to make, a distraction. And Rock and Roman win this match, and it's bloodline rules. And then the whole world is pissed, besides me. The whole world is pissed on Sunday night when they say, "And still your heavyweight champion, Roman Reigns." People will be fucking livid, dog.
I mean, he's already said he's going to retire after this title loss, so let's get this going. Finish the story.
It could go either way, in my opinion, man.
Who's retiring?
Either way.
During the A&E biography, Roman Reigns said that when he loses the title, he's done.
Yeah, he wants to go be a movie star, man. He wants to go be a movie star. He's already had that bout with the reoccurring of the leukemia coming back. So if he's doing movies and not wrestling, he don't have to worry about that. If something were to flare up with his leukemia, he can immediately go to the doctor. So I get it, but again, part of me thinks they want him to break the other record, the next record.
Oh, Hogan's?
Yeah.
I really hope they don't. Just fucking let it be.
Here's the problem with the scenario.
It's Reigns. It's cool.
If Cody doesn't win here, he's done. You can't do anything else with him. You can put him out there as the face of the company, but he can't win the title because he's not credible anymore. You can't lose twice in consecutive WrestleManias after winning twice in consecutive Royal Rumbles.
That's like his first match with Jericho in AEW, where he's like, "If I lose, I'll never get to fight for the AEW heavyweight title again." And then he fucking floundered.
And I think that's also why you have to finish the story. Because here's the thing.
I'm not mad at
We're not writing War and Peace here.
I'm not a Cody crybaby like everybody else.
You don't have to be. You have to be a fan of common sense booking, which is what we're heading towards.
Yeah.
You have to have a Roman Reigns fan.
There has to be an end to the story.
Roman Reigns fan, I'm a little bit over it too. So like I get it, but like
I think that's the first time I've heard you say that.
I mean, like I said, I'm still 50-50, and I'm not going to be upset if they say "and still" on Sunday night. Not one bit. I'll fucking post a picture like this, acknowledging my tribal chief. It's,
I think one thing you also have to keep in mind here is Roman Reigns was Vince McMahon's last guy. And things are not going well for Vince McMahon's guys, if you know what I mean. So maybe you kind of push him aside and be done with this reign, and you can put your own guy up there and say, "This is now the face of the company. This is who we're building around. This is who you should be reasoning out to come to shows, to buy merch, to make sure that you're part of this experience."
But yeah, and they'll try to make Cody Rhodes John Cena.
He already is. He's only lost like 3 times since he came back at WrestleMania 38 total. And one of them was a title loss where he lost an actual championship.
I hate it when they just like shove him down your throat. Like I hated Roman when they did that shit.
Oh, I know. I hated it too, dude.
I hated it.
It's frustrating, but it is part of professional wrestling. You'll see it everywhere. In AEW, you have that with Kenny Omega.
And let me go back on your other point. Let's say Gunther loses. That means that puts Gunther in line next to fight Cody Rhodes for the title?
Hell yes.
Cody should have a short fucking reign, in my opinion.
If
that's the case, Gunther should chop the shit out of Cody Rhodes and it'd be done. And then Gunther will never lose to anybody.
Look, you could argue a lot of different things with this story, but the end game is Roman's not working events. He's not working live events.
I know.
He's shown up on a couple of TVs recently, and these are the most TVs he's done consecutively in probably 3 years.
No, I agree.
He's not the face of WWE anymore, and it's time to put the face on there. And to be fair, face is, because the other face of WWE right now is the guy who's going to win the World Heavyweight Championship on WrestleMania Sunday.
It's going to be Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, but it sounds like Damian Priest might be about to cash in.
I think so. Because but look,
splitting the tag titles will do that.
Well, I've heard is that Seth and Becky both want to take some time off. Seth to deal with injuries, be with the kid. That's fine. I get it. So that automatically puts, Drew McIntyre, in my opinion, winning, Rhea Ripley retaining, as like you said earlier. Because that way it gives them both, that's done. They can start storylines somewhere else. Drew McIntyre wins this title, and I immediately said it's gonna be because they wanted him to win it in front of fans. They want it to be, they wanted him to get that moment. And he's gonna get that moment, and 10 seconds later, he's gonna lose that moment.
They're gonna put the strap on.
Day could come out on Priest. Hell yeah.
No, I've reached the point where I think they're gonna kill off Priest. I don't think he's gonna win the title.
You think they're gonna have him cash in and lose it?
I mean, realistically, you've made this guy look like he looks like an idiot. You've had Seth Rollins dead to rights. He's had a knee injury for the last, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks? I can't even count how many weeks he's been injured.
52.
If this were Edge, Edge would have taken him out at home, dragged him kicking and screaming to a ring, and said, count this shit. And that would have been the end of the reign. So why are we not doing that? If Seth Rollins is not medically cleared in that story, why aren't we playing that up? Instead, we're just like, oh, he can't challenge somebody who's injured. Well, when did that suddenly change? Because it hadn't been a thing before, and you just made it a thing right now.
The Money in the Bank has become a joke.
It has. It's been the biggest mistake the last 2 years we've had. Unfortunately, it's just the nature of the booking of it. You can't really do much more with it.
We were talking about this. I forget with who, but I was talking about when Otis won. Speaking of that, so let's talk about who's the biggest.
Oh, we were running some ropes.
It got to be Otis. Is the biggest, shittiest Money in the Bank winner.
I'm saying Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's had multiple times to do it, and he still didn't pull the trigger. Like in kayfabe,
Otis lost,
he would be the worst.
To somebody else in a match.
Okay, but we've had that happen before. Mr. Anderson lost the Money in the Bank to Edge.
That's true. I forgot about that. But
so it's not an uncommon thing. It's an uncommon thing to be a consistent failure at cashing in the Money in the Bank. The only person who did worse was Austin Theory.
Yeah, he was horrible. Otis should have cashed. Otis and fucking Tucker should have cashed in for tag team, or Otis and Chad should have cashed in for tag team titles. Would have been sweet.
Would have been fantastic. And here's another thing: who's going to win Money in the Bank this year then? Because you don't really have a clear directive where you're heading on any of this. So I'm going to throw it out there. A lot of people are talking R-Truth should win and just forget that he has it.
That would be fucking hilarious.
That would be unbelievably hilarious. Have the Miz going around with the Money in the Bank going, hey, you want to cash this in right now? You want to cash this in? And he's like, cash in a briefcase? What sense does that make?
Like, for what? What do I get out of that?
If anyone can pull it off, it's him.
And then the final day, you could have him go out there and be like, I got a title match tonight. And then you can have fun with this. Because right now, the Money in the Bank has been the worst thing to happen to WWE in the last 3 years.
Well, you could have him cash it in on fucking Logan Paul or Kevin Owens, or if they have Gunther's Logan Paul win. If they have Logan Paul's got to fight against Randy and Kevin Owens for the title, triple threat U.S. title.
Can't wait.
If R-Truth cashed it in, if Logan Paul somehow wins this match and R-Truth came out that would be fucking hilarious.
That would be sweet.
So Randy Orton's going to hit an RKO on Logan Paul, similar to what happened in WrestleMania 27 when Punk did the leap and he caught him in midair. So that's what I think is going to happen. But then Kevin Owens is either going to dump Orton out and get the title victory, or he's going to drop him with a stunner when he's not paying attention.
Yeah, I think Kevin Owens walks out with this title. I don't think Logan Paul retains it, but I think Kevin Owens walks out with his title. And then last thing I want to talk about, who walks away with the tag team titles? Do they split them? Is this where they split them in this ladder match?
They need to. I'm done with
They've
it.
already said that you have to pull down both sets of belts. So that means that at some point, Johnny is going to be up there pulling one. And
Awesome Truth is pulling down one set of belts.
I hope so, because this is actually going to make sense for them.
Yeah, no, I hope so too. It'd be phenomenal. Plus, R-Truth's been on a hot streak with everything going on lately.
Can we please get some
DIY to win
tag titles?
Yeah, I do, but they're not gonna.
I do.
Okay, but here's my question: do you want DIY to win at WrestleMania, or do you want them to save this for SummerSlam?
No, I want them to win the SummerSlam, bruh. SummerSlam in Cleveland. Give Johnny a moment.
I listened to Logan Paul's podcast at work, and did you hear he was talking about SummerSlam, and he was talking about coming to SummerSlam. He's like, I'm coming to SummerSlam. He's like, I'm bringing all my friends. I'm bringing MGK, the Kelsey brothers. He was like, we're all gonna be hanging out in Cleveland at Cleveland Browns Stadium. He was like, I'm gonna be in a tag team match with who? I don't know, probably LeBron James.
That'd be dope.
I mean, obviously, I can't wait for WrestleMania in Cleveland, not WrestleMania, SummerSlam in Cleveland. Even if we've looked at tickets, we're still waiting. Maybe they'll go down a little bit. But
they're on sale already.
Oh yeah, you can get tickets already
from Ticketmaster or from some other bullshit sites.
I'm not sure where you can get.
Just some random guy on the street corner of Public Square going, "You want tickets?"
I have yet to get my WWE email saying like, "Hey, here's your pre-sale." Because I signed up for the pre-sale.
Oh yeah, that's true. So did I. So I mean, even if not, though, we will be doing something. Obviously, it's big. It'll be popping up around here, so we'll have a lot of fun. What night are you more excited for? Night 1 or night 2, Paulie?
Saturday, big time Saturday. It's got a more female approach. There's going to be a lot of women's matches on that card. Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch are going to tear it down. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Not to discredit Bayley and Io Sky, because I think they're going to have a great match, but I think they're going to be overshadowed by everything that's going on Sunday night. It's just too big. Like, there's too much going on. You've got both world championships on the line, and you're throwing in the United States title with that. I feel bad for Bayley, because I think she's going to win, and it's going to be forgotten, and that's not fair to her. She has really worked her ass off to get to this point. And
she is going to win. She is going to win.
Not even the biggest women's moment on the card.
No, I got you. I feel you 110%.
Because Rhea Ripley's on fire right now. Mommy's always on top.
I would say that's mommy. But yeah, can't wait this weekend coming up. I mean, do we have anything else we want to talk about, boys? Or? I'm solid on WrestleMania.
Not really, I'm just excited to watch it. I'm excited, man.
I don't know which of you I get to watch it with, but I'm sure one of you boys are going to be at the party. So.
Oh yeah.
I've got a new Uno deck, so you'll want to come check that out.
Let's go.
Which one do you got?
No Mercy.
Yeah, that one's
that was like draw 10 and shit.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
That's awesome. I'm excited. I'm ready for this weekend.
Well,
I just remembered. So I'm actually hosting a trivia contest event in Lorraine on WrestleMania Sunday.
It's on Sunday?
It's on Sunday morning.
That's cool.
Excited to do that.
So you have to give me some more details. I talked to Victor, and then I kind of got busy and probably ADHD'd out and forgot to message him back.
Well, I'm going to be the quiz master for the event, and it's going to be from 11 a.m. is when doors open, and it'll start at noon. There's going to be a $10 entry fee for teams of 2, and there will be door prizes based on how well you do on the quiz. There's going to be a little bit of everything WrestleMania on this quiz that I'm concocting.
Ooh, I want to go.
If you've seen me in the Quizmaster role in previous iterations and previous events that I have hosted, you know that I can be a little bit brutal and sadistic in my questioning. At one point, I asked somebody who was the 17th pick of the 1981 NFL draft, so you never know what's going to come at you.
Yeah, nobody fucking knows that, Paulie.
Nobody knows it. But here's the thing. That was because I was trying to
Nobody
punish
knows
people
that
who were
shit
trying to eat
but
chicken
you.
wings. Oh, nobody knows
Love
that at
that
all.
about you. I love it.
But this will be more of a fun experience where we're going to learn something together. And the prizes look pretty cool. They're going to have all-you-can-eat brunch, from what I
Ooh.
understand, all-day
Ooh.
brunch. So
I like
if you want to get an omelet, come on down. It's at the Bascule Brewery and Public House in Lorain,
It's a
Ohio.
brewery too? Man.
It's a brewery too.
That's
You
awesome.
pick up a growler.
Congratulations. Yeah.
I'm
about
excited.
that life.
It's something outside of my comfort zone, so I'm excited to do that.
Yeah,
Probably, man.
110%. It should be
Let's
fucking
support that
fun.
100%.
Like I said, I talked to Victor. I ADHD'd out and forgot to message him back probably. But this weekend we will have WrestleMania. We will have Paulie, if you're at the Bascule Brewery, hanging out doing some trivia. We'll see what's up. Maybe the Piledriver boys will stop by, say hey. I know Vic talked about us maybe doing a show up there. So not us being part of the trivia, but maybe doing a show up there. So maybe we'll come up, hang out, and go live for an hour with you, and we'll bullshit and see what's going on. All right.
It'd be a great way to talk about WrestleMania Saturday and get everybody set up for WrestleMania Sunday.
You're right. You're right. I mean, when you're right, Paulie, you're right.
And you're always
right.
But
that's all we got for tonight. Make sure you tune in with us next week. We will be back on Monday night because we will be going over WrestleMania, which we will be busy watching on Sunday. So next Monday, right here on all the social media platforms, all the places you can find the Piledriver, make sure you're tuning into us. Don't forget, we also have keychains and stickers for sale. Shoot a DM. Support your boys. We appreciate any and all.
I know we got some people that want the full outfits and some hoodies and stuff. We're working on that. We'll get you guys taken care of. But
110%. But yeah, that's all we got for tonight. I'm the best in the world. That's my boy, the big dog. And down low is the hammer.
Let me get a little plug real quick. Thursday.
Get it, big dog.
I'm doing a video game podcast on the side too. So if you like video games, come talk with me and Joey. We should chopping up video games, all things video games. So it's called Press Start. Thursdays at 8. So if you want, give us a follow.
110%. I saw we had the episode a couple days ago, right? I was checking it out. But yeah, get over it. It was Press Start. Press Start. Talking to all things video games. So yeah, get over there, show some love to the boys, show some love to the big dog, and like I said, make sure you're showing all the love to the Piledrivers, and we'll keep the Piledrivers.
Buy our stickers.
Down. Buy some stickers. Buy some keychains.
Hey, we're like 50. We're like 50 people away, 47 people or something like that.
And I do want to shout out real quick, and last shout out when I'll get out of here. Huge shout out to everybody that followed us on TikTok the past couple days. We went up about 150 followers, so we're getting closer to that everlasting 1,000 mark, where we can go live and we can talk, at a show and go live on a match. So let's, keep pumping the TikTok. We appreciate you. And I know you guys haven't watched it. I talked to you about it earlier. Go watch the Bray Wyatt documentary. It was awesome.
I'm watching it probably after this.
It's about 2 hours long. So you gotta go to bed.
You're killing it.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours long if you ain't got time. But yeah, shout out to Paulie down low for jumping in. We always appreciate the hammer showing love. And hopefully we'll see you guys all soon. Take it easy.
Peace.